But the point is that we're building a mine. When other cryptos do what we're doing, they do it different. They do airdrops, they do ICOs, which means whoever puts in the most cash gets the most coins. We don't do it that way here. Because we're building a mine and because our community is just as important as the size of our mine, what we do is we say whoever works the hardest to help us build and grow the mine is going to get the lion's share of the mining output. That's what we're doing. That's the system that we devised to establish this level playing field for you to say, well, I want a big chunk. I got deep pockets. We go, well, that's very nice. There are a lot of people out there with deep pockets, but if you want the big chunk, you got to be willing to help us build and grow. Okay. And so what we're doing is we're building a mine. What will happen is that when this mine is built and the seats are gone, the mine will continue operating for probably about another 135 years. And the mine will continue to pay out for another 135 years. So suppose you get the last seat on the rocket ship and we're able to take this coin to 16, which I think is pretty easy. I've already painted the picture. But suppose we take this thing to 16 and you get the last seat on the rocket, you can't acquire any more hash power because it's sold out. The mine will give you $1.60 per day, plus or minus, for the rest of your life. Now, $1.60 a day is not a lot. For the rest of your life might be a long time. And so there will be an upside in there for you. You know, if you take the $1,000 that you used to buy that last seat on the rocket and divide it by $1.60, you'll get your money back in about 625 days. Not the best ROI you've ever heard of, but hey, not bad. Okay, well, let's talk about two things real quick. Number one, we're not going to 16. 16 is the starting line. 16 is the end of the beginning for us. 16 is that we proved out our concept. 16 is we built the mine. And with the million seats sold and the 100 million mega hash and the $200 million of marketing and promotion money and the $100 million of liquidity that we're building up as we get towards that starting line, we call ourselves a $1 billion coin, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be very easy to hold it there with everything we've got going for us, the community, the mine, everything else. Easy. Foregone conclusion at this point. Guaranteed. Let's not use those words. But the point is, we know where we're going. But where we're going is just the starting line. So I want you to understand that it's extremely important to me and very true that I have not just a plan for us to go from 0 to 16, but I also have a plan for us to go from 16 to 100 and another plan after that for us to go to from 100 to 1,000. We're not staying at 16. And if I'm right, as I've been pretty good so far on our path to 16, if I'm right and I can take this thing along with you on this journey to $1,000 a coin, and Bitcoin is still 20 plus times larger than we are, that last seat on the rocket ship, it's not worth $1.60 a day. It's worth about $100 a day. And I want you to pinpoint this number in your mind. Okay, I know it still sounds fantastical, right? This whole thing felt impossible a year and a half ago. Look where we are today. Does what happened in the past indicate exactly what's going to happen in the future? No, we're learning, we're adjusting, we're making small changes and improvements as we learn. But if we keep working hard, I think we're going to get there. But look what happens if we get there, because it's a real nice, easy, round number. The last seat on the rocket ship costs you $1,000. It gets you 100 mega hash. If I'm right and I take this thing to $1,000 a coin, 100 mega hash will be worth about $100 a day for the next 135 years. And that is something to actually get excited about. Why? Because $100 a day is enough money to live on for an individual. $100 a day is definitely enough money to live on if you're sitting on the beach in Thailand. But we've shown you an extremely simple path to go from 1 seat to 3 seats. Bring on 3 referrals. Bring on mom, dad, and the coworker, or sister, brother, and friend. If you do that inside the first 30 days, you go from 1 seat, 100 mega hash, to 3 seats, 300 mega hash. And you tell me somebody, some normal American, when we get to $1,000 a coin, you tell me what person would not value a $300 passive income stream for the rest of their life. 300 mega hash is worth about $300 per day at $1,000 a coin. You want to do the math with me? Let's do the math. 300 mega hash over the total mine size of 100 million mega hash equals an extremely tiny percentage. Multiply that extremely tiny percentage by the 95,000 plus or minus coins a day we get, and you get 0.285 coins per day, right? Multiply that by $1,000 per coin, and voila, a little less than 300 bucks a day, $285 a day. I can tell you from personal experience, you can live like a king on the beach in Thailand with your coconut for $300 a day for the rest of your life. That's what we're working for. And if you continue to help us build and grow, you decide to be like Chad, the hash hog, you've picked up, what is he at 30,000 mega hash now? You don't have to drop the zeros at $1,000 per coin. It's $30,000 per day. Guys, I know the money sounds insane. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds impossible. And it's not guaranteed. But I think we got the best thing here going in crypto. And if you think about the cryptocurrency industry and the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars every day that's traded out there, the trillions of dollars that's still yet to come into the crypto space, the trillions of dollars that is yet to find the community, it's not that impossible after all. And if we work together, if we work hard, if we do this dirty job of building the mine and we get this 100 million mega hash, and then I go from phase one to phase two. Well, what's phase two? That's when we go from 16 to 100. Well, can you tell us about that now? I already have. I'm not going to get into it tonight, but we've got phase two and we've got phase three. And phase three takes us from $100 to $1,000 a coin. And it is not a joke. It never was.